Hey everyone, Zach Batten with the Belpark Weather Network here to go over the new Belpark Weather Network app. We've had a couple questions, kind of how do you do this, how do you do that? So I just wanted to take some time, kind of give a quick tutorial on how to use the app, some of the different things it can do, how to disable, enable alerts, stuff like that. So if you haven't already, make sure you go to the Google Play Store or Apple App Store to download the Belpark Weather Network app. You should be able to just search Belpark Weather Network and it'll get you there. So once you've got it downloaded, go ahead and open it up. And while that opens, I do want to note that I am using an Android device here on a computer, so it's gonna at points look a little weird, especially with the radar. Sometimes the colors don't load right. But the same concepts apply. iPhone users, again, same general concepts apply. Some of the buttons might look a little different, things might be in a little different location, but the concept is still the same. So if you open the app, first thing you're going to be presented with is our terms and conditions. Nothing crazy in there. Feel free to read them if you'd like. I'm going to skip through them. The next notification is about safety net alerts and your location data. So the app does kind of track your location for alerts only. It doesn't do anything else with it. Your location doesn't go anywhere else. It is specifically used to send alerts. So once you clear through that notification, you're going to get a box that will ask you to give the app your location access. At first, you're going to hit just while using the app. That way, anytime the app is open, it can get your location. The next notification it's going to give you is about the safety net alerts. So these are alerts that will alert you if rain is coming, if lightning has been detected in your area, anything like that. These are very important, and your phone has to be able to tell where you're at kind of at all times in order to send those notifications. They aren't mandatory. You can have them disabled if you would like, but we do strongly recommend having them enabled. So I'm going to go ahead and do that here. I will give access all the time, and I will go back to the app. So the home screen here, a couple different things. You get your currents and forecast. Of course, there's the radar, and then there's all of our tiles. The top two, of course, Amplex Internet and Hatcher Medicare are sponsors. And then you get alerts, live updates, which will actually just take you to our YouTube channel, and then a tile for each of the different pages that are associated with the Belpark Weather Network. There is also a tile right here to send us your photos, which we'll go into more detail later. And then, of course, a tile here that takes you right to the Belpark Weather Network blog. So, if you hit the little hamburger menu up here in the top left, you'll see it's pretty much all of the same options, just in list form instead of tiles. So for now, we're going to go back home. Right now, it has my location is New York, New York. I am not in New York, but the phone seems to think I am. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and hit the little plus icon here. This is where I think iPhone users, it might be a little different. It might be like a little pin icon or something like that. Alternatively, you can go to the three little dots up here and also hit locations, and that will take you to the location editor. So you can see here you've got your current location, and then down here at the bottom, you can add locations. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and click add. Sometimes it's a little misleading, but there is actually a text box right here. So if you just tap inside there or on those letters, it will open up the search box. So for now, I'm going to search for Columbus. And you'll see when you start typing, you do get options to pick from. So I will go ahead and select Columbus. And then here you can rename it. So if you want to name it, mom's house, dad's house, whatever, you can do that. You can straight up enable or disable all alerts. Again, we recommend leaving them enabled. There are some here. If you scroll down, for instance, the hurricane and tropical storm watches and warnings, you can disable those if you want to. Obviously up here, that's not a much of an issue for us. But if you had a location where, say in the Gulf of Mexico, right on the coast there, you might want those enabled, but you don't need them, enabled for every location. But you can do this with any alerts in here. So, hail, wintry mix, these are kind of the proximity alerts or the safety net alerts. So you'll get a notification when rain is approaching, it's going to snow, hail, things like that. There are also some for lightning. I think you can do like twisting storm, which is a storm that may or may not have a little rotation in it. This is all based on radar algorithms, so it's not perfect. Sometimes if the rain pops up right on top of you, you might get the rain is approaching alert when it's already raining. Sometimes if it pops up very close to you or right on top of you, the radar algorithm can only detect it so fast. But again, enable or disable any alerts that you desire. So once you've added your location, you click this little triangle here. You can set this as your default, which I will do. You can also edit it, so will let you go back in, change your alerts again, change the name, anything like that. And you can also just delete the location itself. There's this little checkbox here where you can enable and disable alerts. So with that done, at the top here, you can scroll through your alerts. So a swipe left or right will take you to your different locations. With Columbus selected, we're going to check out the currents and forecast section. Gives you exactly what you would expect it to. You get a hourly forecast for the next few hours, your daily forecast, and then easy access to the radar. The tabs at the top allow you to get a little bit more information, so you get a little bit more weather data here, and then you also get sunrise and sunset. Hourly is exactly as it sounds, your hourly forecast, and then daily is also exactly how it sounds. You get a kind of quick overview of your 7-day forecast, and then you can get some more detail down below. So day, night, with some text. The cool thing about this is we actually have the ability to go in and edit these forecasts. These forecasts are based primarily off of kind of some model data, that kind of stuff. So sometimes they can look a little off. We have the ability to go in and manually change these to correct anything that's weird, anything that we see that maybe the models don't. So this allows us to go in and do that. But also on days where it's just going to be nice and sunny, it's easy to just look at the app and go, great, it's going to be sunny and warm, and maybe one day we'll actually get there. So with that, there's also easy access to the radar from here in the top right. So if you select that, it will zoom into your location. So depending on what you're looking at, your current location will actually be a little blue pin on the map. Your saved locations will be red. So for now, it zooms you in to the location you're viewing. Of course, you can zoom in and out like normal. You can view the radar. And like I said, sometimes the radar does not load right because I'm doing this on a computer, so things are a little weird. But something I did want to point out here, we have had some users who believe the radar loops a little bit too fast. While it does loop fairly quickly, you can, if you just kind of select anywhere down here along the bar, or while it's looping, if you just hit the pause button, you can actually drag the slider forward and backwards, so you can kind of slow it down and play the loop at your own speed. That way, if there's something in particular you want to look at, or you just want to get a good idea of the direction that the rain might be moving, you can do that. The little stack of paper menu up here along the top bar, this allows you to go in and change the data that you're looking at. So there's temperature, wind speed, satellite, snow accumulation for winter time, precip accumulation, so if you want to see how much rain has fallen. And then, of course, there's future radar. You can also overlay data, so you can overlay alerts, you can overlay lightning, storm tracks if you want to see the direction a specific storm is moving. Earthquakes, not super applicable for around here, but we do occasionally get some. So you can have them if you want them. apologize, you can hear my doggy in the background. So there's also tropical tracks, again, not super useful for up here, but it is fun to look at during hurricane season. And then spaghetti plots, if you're not familiar with those, basically it's just different model outputs for tracks of tropical storms typically. And then in these settings, you can change the opacity of the data you're looking at. The location query here, what this is referring to, on the radar, you can either short tap a spot on the map or kind of hold down on a spot on the map, and it will give you the current conditions for that location. And then you can, from there, either save that location to your custom locations or look at more weather for that specific spot. And then, of course, you can show or hide the legend for precipitation or whatever data you have selected from this menu. You have the location pins, so you can hide those if you don't want them to show on the map. To see there's no pin here on Columbus anymore because it is hidden. And see, there's the radar with the colors you would expect, and then as soon as I try to loop it, it goes away, but such is life. But you did see, let's see if I can get that to come back. You do see there are some lightning bolts showing up, so there was a little bit of lightning kind of as this line moves through at the time of this recording. And again, you've got your three little dots up here where you can go straight to your locations. You can change your display units, so if you want to look at metric units, you can do that. And then there's also about, so you can opt out of analytics, which is just anonymous data for bugs, crashes, stuff that help provide the developers a little bit more information when the app crashes. You can turn that off if you so desire. And then there's email support. This will allow you to send an email to us. So if you have any issues, we can hopefully get them addressed. So the other thing I did want to go over real quick is submitting your photos. So from within the app, you are able to send us pictures, whether it be sunsets, storm damage, anything like that. It will require the app to be able to access the photos on your device. So from here, you can take a picture straight from the app. The app will just then use that picture. You can add some more information to it, or you can pick a picture from your gallery. So you go in, select a picture that you maybe took earlier in the day of the sunrise or something like that, and it will allow you to send that picture to us. It will provide the location the picture was taken. That way, you know, especially during severe weather, if you take a picture of some trees down or something like that, we have a good idea of where that damage occurred, and that kind of helps us if we need to relay that maybe to the National Weather Service, or particularly if we're doing live coverage, we'll be able to see that, and that will allow us to warn people ahead. They go, hey, the storm has caused damage, so you need to take it a little more seriously. So that's one of the cool things you can do here, and we're hoping people take advantage of that, because it's going to, and at the end of the day, kind of help everybody. So that's really about it. It is fairly straightforward. If you have any questions, do feel free to comment below this video, reach out to us. You can always email us. We do have a spot on the website, or you can find some more contact information. We want to kind of make the app as user-friendly as we can. Sometimes there are a few things that we can't necessarily change, or a little more difficult to change, but we do want to try to get it to a point where the majority is happy with it, and I think realistically we're probably already pretty close to that. A few bugs here and there, but if you run into any issues, let us know. If you have any questions, let us know. If there's anything you want kind of a more in-depth look at, let us know, and we'll be able to take care of that for you. So for now, that's going to do it here. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Thanks, everyone.